Hi, this is Nick Lowery. This is your story, your victory on Victory, with three guys connected to Kansas, each with their own story. We're going to start with the Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Famer, Curley Culp, who was a great wrestler in his time, was a physical, dominating part of that Kansas City Chiefs defense. Curley, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you very much.
What was it like to make it in the Hall of Fame after all those years, to finally get the recognition of the incredible physical force you were on the Kansas City Chiefs world champion defense?
It was remarkable, It's, I had an opportunity to play 14 years in the National Football League, and going in as a senior, it just made it special. Nice going in with my senior there, but Dave Robinson, and it's a wonderful thing. It's a great bunch of guys, that did well in their profession, and being signified as one of the greats that ever played the game is very, very humbling and a great honor.
Moving on to Kwamie Lassiter from KU, 11 years, most of them with the Arizona Cardinals, and also the president of the NFL alumni here in Arizona. You just came back from New Orleans, and report for us about some of the new developments in taking care of players that frankly never happened really at all for most of the players until recently.
Yeah, one of the sad things is, or more so bothersome things is that guys pre-93 don't get to endure or maybe get the benefits of this, what's going on in the NFL right now. But I have an opportunity to meet a lot of Hall of Fame guys, and I try to play the game so I never let these guys down the way they set the platform for us. And just meeting them and hanging out with them, so many great guys. I was at in New Orleans at the NFL Legends Community Summit this year, and just creating avenues and different programs and projects that guys can get involved with, where if you want to go back to school, there's $60,000 you can go back to school. The problem is we want everything, but when it's available to us, the guys won't take advantage of it, because in the old concept, if you don't use it, you lose it. And I'm an advocate about letting all my NFL alumni guys, NFL legend guys, I call them legends because alumni sound like an old reunion. Yeah. So these guys, Curley, legend, these are legends to me. So I play the game so I don't let them down. But the information I do have, I want to make sure they're afforded that information so they can go out there and continue to be successful and be who they are.
And by the way, speaking of legends, why did they call you Curley? What's that about? What's that story?
That's a good question. I'm a twin, and believe it or not, my older sister, by 15 minutes, her name is Shirley. And so I got
Shirley Curley.
Why are you laughing? That's
I'm about to say, in training camp, when you were a rookie,
you better be glad that we're on camera.
Yeah, exactly. That's my only save. I got a lot of insurance. That's the key. Okay. Junior Spivey, also tell us about your Kansas roots, and then I want to ask you one follow-up question.
Oh yeah, so I went to school in Kansas City, Kansas, Cali County Community College. I went there 2 years and was drafted by the Diamondbacks, after my second year there. So I was a huge Chiefs fan and Royals fan, being in Kansas, and that's where it all started for me. That's the first time I actually took baseball seriously. Was going to school in Kansas. First time I actually put any time into baseball was in Kansas. Before then, I was trying to be the next Billy Sims, being from Oklahoma, and that's basically my story right there.
All right, let's talk about, speaking of former NFL players, and frankly the cutoff in 1993, and what's really missing from so many players in the past. What about baseball and your sense? Very strong union. Can you draw a comparison looking at the NFL versus what you experienced?
Well, for us, it all opened up for baseball is 1994. Going through that strike experience, of course, I was in college at the time, but the sacrifices that those guys made at that time basically opened the floodgates for the guys that's playing today. That's why you see the $200 and $300 million contracts. But if it wasn't for those sacrifices that was made in '94, we'd probably pretty much be going through the same thing that the NFL is going through. But it was those sacrifices then, and the players that's played beyond 1994, they know. Without a shadow of a doubt, from the moment they step foot on the baseball field, that they know the sacrifices that the guys that played before them made.
And that's not about not being grateful, it's about the truth of what it takes to win the rights that were won for baseball players and for football players. Curley, as you look at the changes in the game today, what's the biggest thing that strikes you as how different it is between now and 1969-70 when you were at the top of the heap in the National Football League?
Well, it's a great evolution in the game. I think financially there's extreme evolution in the game, and currently, you know, you have the new rules that protect players, which is vitally important. You know, a lot of people know about the concussion situation, so they're putting safety situations involved so players can tackle a certain way to protect their livelihood, so they don't get injured. Like when I played, you know, they could do chop blocks, they could do all kind of crazy things that would injure a player. But now they have rules in place that protect those players, and I think that's very beneficial.
Do you think that might have made your career longer, or do you think knowing what you know now, you might have ended your career sooner just because of the head injury issues as well?
Probably both. I think possibly I would have probably played maybe a little shorter with the monetary rewards, but you know, I was very fortunate. I played 14 years and I didn't have any injuries, although I did sustain an injury in what was it, Detroit, that kind of ended my career. But you know, I've been very blessed, and so I'm very thankful for the fact that I've had an opportunity to play 14 years in the National Football League.
Okay, so we are blessed, so we're here to support the Jerry Colangelo tournament pop and fighting prostate cancer, making sure you get your screen too. So thank you for supporting that. Do you have any personal connections to prostate cancer? We know about our teammate Len Dawson, certainly.
Yeah, I think a lot of men that, it's particularly African American men, you know, like Mike Haynes stated today, you know, 1 out of 5 men, and then 1 out of 3 African American men are going to get cancer. And personally, I'm a cancer survivor. Prostate cancer survivor. In fact, I had an operation in November the 12th, and I'm very thankful for the fact that I have no cancer.
We are too, brother.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
What about you, Kwamie?
No, but I had a coach tell me after 30 years old, African Americans need to be checked, because once you catch it early, and Mike Haynes and I've had extensive conversation with him about this, catching it early, it is curable, it's findable, and again, guys could be saved. I had a conversation with Curley last year. This guy is hilarious, but he's real. He's real. He's one of the realest guys I've met, and he's funny at the same time. But I'm so proud and so glad that he's still here with us, going through surgeries like that and cancer.
You know what I'm happy about? That he hasn't slapped me upside of the head so far, so I'm going to get out. I know. I'm going to have to get out of here pretty quick with that one-handed slap that Deacon Jones would talk about. Okay, what about you and Junior Spivey? Any stories that connect you to prostate cancer?
I mean, not really. Just being done with the game now and getting a little older, and we have to check ourselves out. I still haven't had my had the test done. I'm 41.
Come on, man.
I know I'm 41. I'm just a little baby. I'm a little scared, but I'm 41. I know I need to stay on top of him. You know, I'm sure I'm going to have it checked out pretty soon.
Well, that's three guys from Kansas, another guy from Kansas, but they're all here. They all have their victories, and we're honored to have them with us. Thanks for joining us, gentlemen.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, Nick.
Thank you. Appreciate it.